This is a lot of 20 5-inch recording tape reels. I acquired these a few years ago, but they've kind of languished in my death piles. Finally put them up a month or so ago. These are kind of an odd size, being 5-inch, much smaller than the 7 or 10-inch reels that are more common. And this is the guy that very meticulously wrote out what he put on each tape. Even a 1974 Tonight Show recording. Anyway, these I acquired for pretty much no money at all, and they sold for a best offer of $65. I had high hopes of getting 100 for them, but after a few months, that 65 looked pretty good. This is one of those items where a video really helps sell it. This is a Dictaphone. It uses a micro cassette tape. Came with the foot switch, power adapter, and the headset. So I took a video of it, using it, recording on it, and it took about a month, but it sold for $90. Not bad for a $2 garage sale item. I had to come back in the house to retrieve this item. This is a temperature and humidity gauge. Little green zone where the indicators cross. We're still in the green zone, although it's pretty hot and sticky. I really like this item. It's made by the Middlebury Clock Company, and although they don't sell for that much, I kind of wanted to keep it, so I priced it at $90. And somebody bought it. I've had this probably for a year now. And I guess I'll have to find something else to hide Alexa. What's the temperature? Alexa, temperature.
Currently, in Sioux Falls it's 75 degrees with cloudy skies. Today, you can expect lots of clouds.
Pretty accurate. Another hat that I obtained through garage sale in the free box. This one is a Dodge hat. It's gotta be a Dodge. Pretty good shape. Obviously been worn, but still sold it for $25. And this is one of those hats that's easy to determine whether or not it'll sell. Car guys wear hats. Another set of these Prince and Wendy guitar picks from the Purple Rain Tour 1984, when I got them. They have sold on a best offer of $175. That's down from my asking price of $200, which I've gotten pretty much most of the time. It makes me wonder what could I tell my kids to save now that in 30 years might be worth this kind of money, something cheap. Well, I'll have to rack my brains for a while on that one. I bought this big Coleman cooler last summer, and I had not seen one, well, seen one complete like this. It's got the 2 trays and the freezer jug, and it's probably their largest steel cooler they make, about 40 quarts I believe. And so I priced it at $130. It's got this little repair or stain of some sort in it, but otherwise it's in pretty good shape. Somebody put a sticker on top of it, but that could be removed. I wasn't going to remove it for them. And finally I got an offer of $100, and so I took it. This is a projection screen made by Daylight. Had this for a while. In fact, that's my old house. So probably over a year. Picked it up at a garage sale for $4. I've sold them in the past. This one I asked $50 for, so it took a number of months to get. But it finally sold, as does everything it seems. And I just noticed that this is going to a prop company in Blaine, Washington. This is a glass cobalt blue, I guess it would be like a salad bowl or some type of serving bowl. I intercepted this on its way to Goodwill. My mother was going to throw this out, and put it up for sale. about 2 months ago. And it finally sold for $25. These are new boxes of 3M transparency film that you'd use on an overhead projector, but you can use them in copiers. Now, I was at this garage sale. I followed this sign down this road to an apartment complex, and it was a garage at the apartment complex. Usually those are kind of duds. A little old lady out front, and I didn't have much hope for finding anything, and actually this is the only thing I found. On the top shelf she had 9 boxes of these marked at $1 each. I've sold transparency film before, and actually a couple boxes went to Sweden, but I was thinking maybe a school would need these, and so I put them up for sale for $30 a piece after doing some research. And right away I got a message from a school in New York. They wanted 6 boxes, and they had read my tagline at the end of the description that I would do a discount for quantity. So I sold them for $25 each, 6 boxes, $150. But I thought they would fit in a medium flat rate box, and they're just a tad too big for that. But they do fit in a regional rate B box, and that was only about $2 more than the medium flat rate. So $150, and I still have 3 more to go. Nice cool morning this morning. Got the garage door open. Sold another part off the Marantz amplifier. This is the AM antenna and its mount. I figured this would have sold a lot earlier because those things kind of hang out there. People sometimes use them as a handle when they're picking up their amps. But it did finally sell for $20. This is called a Cassette phone, basically for the hearing impaired. And what it does is when people call you, what they're saying is printed out on the screen. And it's internet capable. I found this at a garage sale, and they only wanted $3 for it. Well, I wasn't sure what it was exactly, but for $3 it looked like worth a shot. And sure enough, it sold for $80. After getting the Cassette all packaged up, I noticed that I had saved the price. I can't believe they just sold this for $3. This is a Micronta voltmeter, multimeter I should call it. And I pick these up quite often for just $1 or $2 at garage sales, or they come in a lot box from the auction. And this sold for $25. Someone decided to try and help. Are you my helper? These are drawbars off the Hammond organ that I parted out. Out of all the drawbars that I was able to get off that organ, I've only sold 1. And then I got a message from a guy in Switzerland who said he'd like to buy 9 of them to restore his Hammond organ, but it shows that I don't ship to international addresses, which is weird. So I went back and I looked at the listing, and sure enough it said I only ship to the United States. So I tried to put in the global shipping program option, and I was able to do that on my phone, but then the listing still showed up with no international shipping, which is weird. Why wouldn't I be able to ship an organ part to Switzerland? So finally I just added in first class international, and he bought them right away. $45 for 9 of these drawbars. Sold another guitar amplifier. This one's a Vox. They're famous for what the Beatles used back in the 60s, but this is a new model. Does still use 1 small tube in the preamp, and it's got all these modeling effects for different types of amplifiers. And of course your different effects, and that's all digital. And this is a fairly small amp. It's just a 15-watt practice amp. I have the larger one that I've had for quite a while. It's a 30-watt model. So this one I actually got Oh, it's still kind of heavy. I actually got a guy just to throw it in when I bought a bunch of stereo equipment. I saw that and he said, and I said, well, okay, I'll give you this much for the equipment, but you got to throw in the little amp. And he did. And so I really don't have any money into it, and it sold for $100. This leather bag I spotted out of the corner of my eye while leaving a garage sale, empty-handed. I saw this and thought, that looks kind of cool. It's leather. And I opened it up to see how clean it was, and it's a Martin Dingman. No, I don't know who that is, but this apparently is a Rudyard Polo Cross duffel bag from the research I did. And they're quite expensive. I sold this for $190, and it only cost me $5 at the garage sale. Another lot of 4 7-inch recording reels sold. And I acquired these just through contacts. I always ask at garage sales when there's something of interest in the vintage audio equipment world, and oftentimes it leads to perhaps a friend who has some equipment for sale. And then I try and stage them a little bit. Not that I'm an expert curator or anything, but I put them in front of my reel-to-reel deck, hoping that the potential buyer knows that I'm a experienced audiophile, which I'm not really, but I pretend that I am. And it looks good. Got to stand out somehow when there's lots of these tapes out there for sale. But I acquired these with a massive amount of different reel-to-reels, so not much money into them, and these 4 sold for $40. Yes, after seeing Beverly sell her Napa Valley 100 slot cassette holder, mine sold on Bonanza. And yeah, Brian, these can be these big ones can be tougher to pack and store than the smaller ones. And they're usually dusty, lots of cobwebs in there, but some compressed air is what I use. I bought a little compressor for that. You can always tell they're Napa Valley because they're embossed on one end or both ends. And these can be hung on the wall too. This sold on Bonanza for $60. Just a $3 garage sale. Here's my scavenge of the week. This little patio door insert. The dogs and the cat figured it out, so now they can come and go as they please. Especially when I'm out scavenging. I don't have to put them in the basement for safekeeping. It was used. They wanted $45, I offered $20, and they took it.